Gemini, welcome back to Steampunk Psyche. If you are a returning subscriber, I am in love with you. If you're cross-watching or just checking out for any of your signs, hey, I invite you to come in and check out the channel, okay? Sometimes these cards, they line out with us, our particular circumstances, our love life, our money, our finances. But Gemini, just don't hate the reader, okay? If it doesn't fit with you, leave it for someone else, all right? All right, I'm going to give you the down low. We'll shuffle up and we'll talk about the categories, okay? I have already pre-shuffled the cards, but for transparency's sake, I will shuffle in front of you. Gemini, I wish you health, wealth, stability, love, abundance, all of those good-natured things. I hope everything's working out for you. Just to let you know that right before your reading, I have included your brand new 3 haiku poems, okay? I hope you guys can appreciate those. I make them specifically for you, but I will put those right before the reading. I kind of feel like it's a really cool transition into the reading. So sit back, relax, chill. I'll go over these categories with you as I lay them out. All right, we've got your current energy. We got your crossing challenge. We have your foundation. We have your recent past. We have the possibilities, the near future. I'll show you all these cards up close, don't worry. We have the foundation, the environment, the self, I'm sorry, and then the environment, hopes, fears, wishes, or worries, and the outcome and the direction. All right, Gemini, cool. While I am checking out your spread here are your brand new poems, okay? Okay, Gemini, I've had a chance to look at your cards. I hope you like the haiku poems, by the way. Let me know in the comments, would you? All right, Gemini, let's get into this reading. This is the emotional arc, okay? This storyline is leading off with some serious intuition here, okay? I feel like you know some things, but you're kind of like letting on that you don't know, all right? But we'll get into it. We're going to talk about this very current energy, the Queen of Cups. This is the psychic era here. Anytime we have this opening up in your reading, you know, the Queen represents psychic intuition, okay? Feeling everything way more deeply, like I said before, than I feel like you're willing to admit. And maybe it catches you by surprise, okay? Someone's falling for you quietly here, okay? They're watching everything you do, but they're not saying much because I feel like they're scared of how deeply they feel about you, all right? And I feel like you might be picking up on these emotions, okay? Even before they say a word. It's like, you know, knowing they're jealous or they're missing you, you know, without them saying anything here. This could apply to some people. So, you know, if it resonates with you, cool, stick with me here. But this has got a masculine energy who's drawn to maybe your softness, okay, but really intimidated, okay, by, I don't know, maybe how well you might be able to read that person, you know. If we're talking about the feminine energy here, it's talking about there may be somebody around you that's kind of nurturing or, you know, supportive in some way. Um, that person may be competing with you for someone's attention here as well. But you might be catching synchronicities, you know, at this time, something like the numbers 222. They could represent, a relationship alignment or something like that. For some of you, butterflies, butterflies kind of represent someone's, thinking about you. Somebody could be considering getting like a butterfly tattoo or something like that. It doesn't have to apply, but it could. Um, this has got the energy of what, like venting to friends, about you, saying things like, I don't know why I can't stop thinking about them. Okay. It's, it's got, craving emotional safety, but also craving passion, right? There is definitely desire, okay? And that is a very confusing mix. It can be for some, right? But I don't know. It's somebody watching your social media for any kind of a clue, are they sad? Are they moving on? This could be your energy, towards somebody else, right? Um, you could be feeling way more romantic or like that very nostalgic energy, okay? We are talking about the cups here. So things like synchronicity wise, maybe like old songs, old memories, or you might be scrolling through some old text or something like that. Just got that dreamy kind of, about someone energy here. Anything about water, okay? She does represent the ebb and flow of water, okay? With that, with the adornment here, that's what that represents. You may be dreaming about someone in that situation, okay? As far as human behavior is concerned, it's like you're acting calm, but really like emotionally overwhelmed here. Okay, maybe checking your profile late at night. Type delete messages, that kind of energy. But it has both feminine and masculine energy. So the masculine energy is definitely drawn to like your emotional depth, and the feminine energy is intuitive, receptive, or magnetic. And we could be talking about some type of a soul connection here. Okay. Where there might be mirroring images. So just take what applies with you here. Okay. As far as synchronicities, like I said, 222, maybe even 444. Okay. Feathers might be significant to some, songs from the past, also that. But we could be talking about like Cancer season here vibes, anytime between June 21st, like July 22nd, something like that. Also, ending of Gemini season here. So, okay, now we're going to move on into the crossing challenge here. And what we've got, I'm going to be gentle with this, right? But this is desire. Okay. The reason I'm saying I'm gentle because I think it's someone wants you so badly that timing and confidence and circumstances are just fucking messy right now. Okay. Um, you know, you know what I'm talking about. This will hit you in the right space here. But it's like someone wants to text, I miss the hell out of you, but they stop themselves, right? This could be you. This is a masculine energy that's sexually frustrated and thinking about you constantly. Okay. The Ace of Wands has that very passionate fire energy here, right? This is a feminine energy that feels the spark, but they're afraid of just being way too forward. So whether you're the masculine or the feminine in this position, it doesn't matter. Uh, it's not gender specific here, is what I'm getting at. So, but maybe someone's in a relationship already, okay, talking to someone else, and it could be that they're feeling more chemistry with you, okay, and that may be the situation here for some, but it also is it's the getting mixed signals, hot one day, cold the next. So definitely that messy part I was trying to tell you about. Okay, so you know you might be tempted to start something new while still being emotionally tied to someone in your past in this situation. Okay, a spark is there, but I feel like someone's scared of maybe ruining the friendship or something like that. But you may feel creatively blocked or definitely sexually blocked, something like that. I don't know. Someone wants to initiate, but I got the fear, of rejection kind of situation. Okay. As far as human behavior, it could be like, they flirt, then they disappear. Maybe they watch, watch what you're trying to do just to see if there's any kind of a message. This may indicate someone, sending like a late night message or something like that. Um, but definitely like the 111 as far as synchronicities. Okay. This is new beginnings here. For some, it may be like the numbers 555, definitely big changes coming. Okay. So timing is, we're, as far as any kind of synchronicities or timing, somewhere like March 21st through like April the 19th, Aries season here. Okay. We could be a significant date for somebody in that situation. All right, moving on now. We have the foundation, what's lying underneath, subconscious, what have you, but we are talking about the world card. Something's closing, something's ending. This could be like a relationship, or, we could also talk about just leveling up, a major level up here. This is done repeating, relationship patterns, things that may be going on in your relationship, something like that. I don't know, someone from the past who wants closure, or maybe another chance. Okay, attracting in, different types of people, backgrounds, or you could be even, a relationship with somebody, long distance, a longest distance connection or something like that forming, or maybe somebody's returning in that situation. This is karmic cycle. It's either finishing up or beginning, with a soulmate or a twin flame situation. Now, like I said, I did feel like there may be a mirroring situation here, but it's glow up energy for sure. You know, I don't know, someone seeing you as the one that maybe got away. But I feel like you're ready for this new era to begin. Love, money, identity, maybe all of these things you're experiencing at once, and it's kind of got that overwhelmment, of a surprise, right? But it could represent, like, planning to travel, move, or something like that. Just stepping into this, I don't know, a more confident version of yourself. Okay, maybe one that you've had, hard time really trying to envision for yourself. As far as human behaviors, this could be like someone messaging you like out of nowhere. Hey, just been thinking about you, blah blah blah. I don't know, symbols, synchronicities, maybe like 999, because it does represent like the completion. Okay. And we could be talking about somewhere within like the next, 21 days or something like that. So maybe on the latter part of April might be a significant date in this, the world card energy here. Okay. Moving on into the recent past. And we have the Page of Swords. Okay. This is, another one of those gentle moments, but I'm pretty sure this card is about I'm watching you, but pretending I'm not. Okay. This could apply to you. It could apply to the other, soulmate, twin flame, whatever it is, push pull retreat situation. But this has been someone, definitely on your social media, okay, heavily, checking out, who's liking whose posts here. It's I'm jealous, but I'm not going to admit it. I'm stubborn. Geminis are pretty stubborn. They are. They can be. You know it, right? I know you're laughing right now, like, yep, shaking your head. Okay, but it's got, maybe just the energy is like I'm just trying to gather information, about you, so that, I might be able to talk to mutual friends that, or just to try to get more information. Okay, it's got the reading old messages, waiting for you to post something, that might give out a sign anyway. But whoever this applies to, whether it's you or the other person, it's definitely overthinking every freaking interaction here. Okay, we could be talking about someone younger than you or someone older than you. It doesn't have to apply, but it could be someone who's maybe a little less, emotionally mature, in a situation. I don't know. It's got watching, I don't know, watching like your relationship status, or who you interact with. Okay. I don't know. It definitely speaks to me like nervous texting, maybe short replies, overthinking, or just kind of lurking in the shadows to try, not in a negative way or a negative light. It's just to try to get more information here. Okay. So as far as synchronicities are concerned, somebody's spirit animal could be like the owl, or you could be seeing owls. Maybe you're a, maybe you like to watch the moon at night or just the stars at night, and you see a lot of owls out. That's got that, very natural kind of, energy there. It could be somebody's spirit animal. Seeing the numbers like 1111, that talks about soul connection here. As far as timing, we could be talking about anything between like maybe 3 to 6 weeks. So once again, we're moving right back into that same kind of synchronicity of like April, something like that, the middle to the ending of April. Okay, moving on. We are talking about the possibilities. Okay, someone regrets not choosing you sooner. Whether this is you, maybe, regretting not reaching out or something, or somebody else. But it's the afraid of missing their chance. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, I don't mean to burp on you. I had freaking coffee, but yeah, someone regretting, emotionally withdrawn, thinking about you constantly. comparing others, to you, and just feeling very disappointed. You may feel bored right at this time, and feeling like don't feel like you have any options about something. Okay, this is the someone scared to reach out because they think maybe you've moved on. Okay, or ignoring someone who actually wants you. This could be your energy. It does have that boredom kind of situation also, but I feel like it's replaying old conversations, trying to get that emotional depth. You're like craving it. Um, so it doesn't have that surface level connection, whoever I'm speaking about in that situation. But I don't know, maybe afraid of someone's losing interest. You might be losing interest in somebody. I don't know. They might be picking up on that energy. Um, I don't know, rejecting an offer, because it doesn't feel right, something like that. Um, I don't know, looking at your text and just like sighing, like, I don't know, staring at your profile, just feeling just this restlessness. Okay. As far as any synchronicities, we are talking again, like the numbers 444, blue butterfly flies, for instance. I don't know. That just hit me, but it is that season. Start to see the butterflies. So anyway, yeah, that might apply to somebody, maybe a tattoo or something, or considering the tattoos. And there may be something significant about like 4 weeks from now. So once again, something I feel like the last three synchronicities here, or at least is in timing, is around the April season. So Gemini, you know what that means to you. So keep those things in mind. Moving on, moving on. Near future, Queen of Wands. This is the glow up, confidence, magnetism. For some of you, I feel beautiful, right? And you should. This is someone definitely obsessed with you. Uh, I mean that in a good way. Okay, it's like we could be talking about fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius here as well. Doesn't have to apply, but could. But you're in that. Uh, People find you irresistible. You know. And so I feel like they're finally going to make a move, or this could be you. Like you're finally going to make a move. Post something that is just going to drive somebody freaking crazy here. Okay, more confident, more sexy, more bold. Okay, um, maybe someone here for some, it may be like a jealousy thing. They may feel, a little unconfident at how much you're shining at this point. Okay, could be talking about maybe a third party here that may feel a little threatened by this situation. But this is attracting like new romantic options. Um, it has the energy like I'd like to take you by the hand and show you off. Okay, so there's human behavior in it. It's bold flirting. It's compliments. Definitely more eye contact, something like that. Somebody may have darker eyes here, maybe like a hazel or something like that. Just the soft, warm eyes. But this is more initiative. Okay, and as far as timing is concerned, synchronicities around like 333, which would express the expansion. Perhaps like you've upgraded, you've done your hair, you've done new clothes. You've taken in some kind of a new community group, something like that. Okay, we could be talking about Leo season, or within the next like 3 weeks, something like that, between like July 23rd through August the 22nd. That's the Leo season, so that may apply to somebody here. Okay, now we are looking at the self. Check it out. I'm going to be gentle with this one because you are fucking overthinking everything, imagining all the worst case scenarios in this, right? This is the replaying old conversations at night. Like I said, the energy is back and forth. This could apply to both. I feel like there's a mirroring type energy here, but you don't want to be hurt, but you don't want to look like you're too damn anxious either, about maybe even some mixed signals that you're getting. So it's kind of like you're just scared of choosing what the hell's the right thing. Worried maybe someone might be lying or hiding something from you here, okay? And so you get that fear of the repeating old patterns, or just being taken advantage of here. But I feel like it's stressed out about, maybe just the timing of the situation here. It could be money, finances, something like that. But I really feel like from the way the cards have lined out, you know, this is overwhelmed emotion here, but I think it might be afraid of being like too much or not enough for someone or some particular situation here. Okay, as far as synchronicities, this has the energy of like the black crow. Okay, this, like I said, once again, could be a spirit animal for somebody, or cross watchers or something like that. But this talks about shadow work. Okay, the crow represents those deeper, darker selves, secretive or things like that. But also like the sign 999, which is kind of like the ending stage. Kabbalic numbers 999 represents the one stage before 10, which is the brand new beginning. We did have, world here. So, all right, moving on into the environment. We have the Seven of Pentacles now. This is, slow growth. It's patience. Okay, it's something building, behind the scenes for you. Perhaps, like I said, you might be working on your finances. You might be really investing in yourself. Art or music or something you appreciate, you enjoy. Um, it's got a masculine energy, that's maybe taking its time because he wants to do things right. I said he, gender specific there, but it does not have to apply. All right. What I'm getting at is this could be you. You might be waiting for that emotional reciprocity or something like that. Or, you know, this could be like money that's, there's something coming in the way of money, but it's just taking its sweet little time. Okay. Talk about things like long-term opportunities that are about to catch up, right? Someone investing in you emotionally, you know, but I feel like it really speaks about maybe like planting the seed of a future relationship here. You did a lot of fire, a lot of energy. It doesn't have to apply, but I don't know. It's still got that same waiting for the right moment to reach out to me. Okay. It's I don't know. I feel like this card is saying trust in the process, and you're being guided to do that, right? So as far as synchronicities, the number 777, which does represent like divine timing here. Okay, so for some, you could be finding like coins on the sidewalk, just random. Like all of a sudden you find a nickel one day, a quarter one day, a penny the next, and it's like, or all in the same day, you're just finding a lot of spare change. We could be talking about maybe like Taurus season here, maybe like 7 weeks out, April through like May, like the ending of April through about the middle of May, something like that. That could be a significant date for somebody too, okay? Okay, moving on into the hopes, fears, wishes, and worries. We've got the Justice. Could be talking about Libra energy here. Don't have to be, but could be. This is fairness, truth, balance. You know, um, Maybe something about the situationship or the soulmate or the twin flame journey here is just feeling unbalanced, and you want clarity about someone's intentions here. This is, fear that someone might be hiding, a third party, a situation. I'm not talking about actual, it doesn't have to be actual people. There may be just circumstances involved here that is, that has come out that is like, blocking the connection in some way. Okay. So you're really wanting like that karmic balance, what you put into it, you want that to reciprocate. Okay. It's fear of being misled. It's the wanting of someone to choose you, clearly, or even somebody just to finally take accountability for what this really means. Right. Um, yeah, it's the equaling out. So it does have that, as far as synchronicities, 222, right? Those numbers may be significant for somebody, but that represents relationship balance. Somebody could be, as far as synchronicities as well, like keys. I've had this in the last few readings as well. Like somebody could be doing something with keys, like art, or you could even like have locked your keys in the car, or shut the door behind you after you locked it and went damn, like. But I feel like this is where the major arcana, the Justice, comes out to go, hey, pay attention to these synchronicities because something is about to unlock. You're unlocking the truth, and I want you to see. So pay attention here, okay? All right, now we've got the outcome and the direction. This is healing. This is moving forward. This is clarity, emotional peace, all of the good, the stance of the six, moving out of the choppy waters into calmer waters. This could be someone, coming to see you, or somebody about to reach out. This could be you who have left a toxic pattern, or at least recognizing there's toxicity in your life that now you're willing to choose peace over all that bullshit chaos here. Okay. Someone choosing you after a period of maybe some confusion or something like that. We still are falling in that type of category. But definitely starting a new chapter. This is emotional maturity, moving forward. We could be talking about, excuse me, the number 666. I'm having the sword again. We do have air signs here, okay? So, any of the air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, in your timeline here. But I feel like this is speaking to you since it's your very last card. The number 666 is not that devil damn number. Whoever, yeah, I'm not going to go there, but the 666 in the Kabbalic tradition talks about realignment. So it makes sense as to why that card would fall in the sixth position here, okay? We could be talking about 6 weeks from now. Again, the end of April, early May. So this could be significant for somebody. What I'm getting at here, definitely Gemini, this is a whole emotional arc for you. It's like, the deep intuitive waters, right? Feeling everything, sensing everything, and knowing everything, okay? People are watching you. You're quietly blowing up, okay? And there's an intensity there. There's definitely a passion. You are involved, and you have something in your life that is just bringing this to the surface for you. So it can put you in that vulnerable state, all right? And sometimes you can fear those consequences. But what I feel like this is really trying to say is that you're closing out all these old cycles. You've got this glow up here happening, right? The magnetism, the anxiety that you feel is real, but it's fucking temporary. Okay. This is clarity, emotional peace. Someone's going to definitely step up for you, or you're about to step up in a way that feels like a win for you, choosing balance, over all the chaos and shit like that. So, Gemini, what a beautiful reading. I'm telling you, it's beautiful. I love it. I appreciate it. Anyway, I have much respect. I hope you got something from it. I hope it was confirmation for some, clarity for others. So if you liked it or enjoyed it, would you give it a thumbs up? If you haven't subscribed, you could, right? Anyway, I love you. I respect you, Gemini. I hope you have your notifications on so you can get the next readings. All right. All right. We'll see you. Bye.